Yo, what's good, everybody? Chris Chrome here. I'm about to talk my shit. So I was born in Charles Lemoyne Hospital on the South Shore. Growing up was generally around the South Shore, Brossard, Greenfield Park, St. Lambert. That's more like my high school years, because a lot of also my growing up takes place in the States. I lived in New Jersey for a couple years of my life in the States. How did my environment shape me growing up? Something that really, I would have to say, fucked me up with my environment was like leaving Canada and going to the States. It was kind of normal to me that, like, as a kid, everybody spoke both languages, because, like, for me, everybody around me in my neighborhood would speak French. At home, it would be English, because this was when I was born, when I was living in Delson as like a kid. But when I moved to the States, because my dad got a job for Nike, when I moved to the States, it's like everything was just English, and the biggest impact was like just being way more comfortable with that. Coming back to Canada and having to deal with the French actually really like screwed me up a little bit. To this day, I still feel like my French may not be to the level, how do I say this, to like an adequate level to what it should be as a Canadian. So, like, I just always had a love for hip-hop, always had a love for, like, just rap music and being able to express my emotions that way. And going through the different names, you know, I had like Ace and Chrome and just like Ghost this and Lil C, and I came up with all like what I felt was super generic, and I needed something that I didn't think anyone else can come up with. So I used my first name, well, at least the shorter part of my first name, because my first name's Christopher. Everyone calls me Chris. At the time, I also felt like my name had to be hard, and then later on realized I'm not really that much of a hard rapper, but my name needed to be like, you had to sound cool, so I just kind of always liked the name, like the metal chrome, like the metallic, can't even express it properly, like just the way that chrome metal looks and the reflective nature of it and the shininess of it, and I've always felt myself to be like a type of like a shiny person, and just kind of be like center, like just captivate your eye or whatever right away. So I just called myself Chris Chrome, and woke up one morning, chucked that name onto Facebook, good old Facebook, and you know, dude, like it became, when I knew, when I knew that this name actually worked was when somebody that I would consider a friend, even to this day, you know, like he's still my friend, this guy's still my buddy, but like he publicly at school was like, hey, yo, everybody, I got a question though. Who's this guy named Chris Chrome? And everybody pointed at me as if like, how do you not know it's Chris? Like, what? So I thought that was really one of the coolest things ever, because it really just goes to show like my name stuck with my dude, or at least somebody who may or may not know it was me. So it was dope. Oh, that's a tricky question. What ways have I grown since I've started? My flows are better. That's just inevitable. I mean, I've practiced flowing and mimicking flows and just learning how to put words together with the different types of just timings and stuff, that like my flows have gotten so much better over the years. My vocabulary has gotten so much better. My way of expression on the stories are so much better. A lot of the music that I make is stories. It's not super kind of generic a little bit. It's more like has this aspect of start, beginning, and beginning, middle, and end. So there is this kind of like growth where if you go back and listen to like some of my older stuff, you know, shout out Broken Carousel, whoa, one of my first tracks I've ever made. Um, the whole lost in your world love relationship theme has always stayed with me, but like from the story that was then to the stories that I have now and the stories that I have coming out very shortly and stuff, it's like you can actually see how I approach these different scenarios differently. You can actually see and hear in the music that like I'm growing up, I'm becoming more acceptance of myself. I'm starting to take accountability for some of the mistakes I may have made back in the day. Take accountability and just own up and take responsibility too for some of the things that I may have done, said, or treated people in a way, because I always just strive to be better. And yeah, it's just a consistent journey. Like I don't actually think I can deadline in a way. Like I don't think I can straight up just be like, this is where I've grown, because I'm still growing. I'm still in the progress of learning every day. Like, what's crazy is like even as I'm talking about it right now with answering your question, it's like I'm like reevaluating what I'm saying at the same time, and I'm like, oh, maybe I don't think like that no more. Maybe I don't feel like that. So it's just, for me, it's always a constant growing progress. Oh, I'm blatantly honest and emotional. I'm not afraid to like. I'm an emo rapper. Like, for lack of a better term, I'm an emo rapper. I do the double timing rap. I do, sometimes I can do like the triplet flows. Like, you know what it is? The word style is kind of like, I feel like that puts me in a box. Like, I can hit every style if I really wanted to. I've rapped on dubstep beats, I've rapped on metal beats, I've rapped on 90s beats and like the 90s boom bap. I've rapped on weird, funky, off-timing beats that are deliberately constructed to throw you off time. I've rapped and freestyled off beats that people thought weren't even possible of rapping on. Fuck, I've rapped on country beats. Like, it's and I only say that because, like, country doesn't always get the love it deserves, so just gonna put it out there. But like, yeah, it's just, I don't know, I just like to tell stories, and my style is very more rapid. I'm a very fast rapper. A lot of spoken poetry as well. I like to kind of, after you get the rush of like the kind of like the catharsis of emotions that are just coming into my lyrics, because I rap fast and kind of matches the way like I live with my ADHD. There's like, the beats usually kind of change, and then I will go into this more like spoken word, and I feel like that gives it more of an effect into like my messages that I'm trying to say. Usually when I get into the spoken word parts of my songs, they're more personal, more directed to somebody, to a specific scenario, to a specific memory in my brain that I'm trying to bring out. Did this answer the question to style? Probably not, because I don't actually know how to label my own style. I just like to make music, and I like to just be honest about what I'm rapping. So call it emo rap, call it emotional rapper. That's what I would essentially have to go with. Also, I'd have to sprinkle a bit of pop in that, because like I'm really into like pop music, and growing up I had like pop bands and boy bands and all this shit as like just in the background and stuff like that. So there's like an element of pop in me that also brings out into my hip hop rap style. Oh my god! I've got yeah. So so recently, my OG Holden, he's been doing these runs of these mixtape runs, and I'm trying to catch up. Mans is out on like mixtape 6, I think. Very impressive, very impressive. Much love to homie over there. But I'm trying to catch up, so I'm currently on my Skin Deep project from the producer Skin Deep, local producer, Montreal producer. But at the same time, simultaneously, homie, and if you see this, please do not butcher me for getting it wrong, but Lewin Hayes, yeah, I think that's how it's pronounced. Louinhaze. Homie hit me up and he was like, "Yo, I got sent you 3 beats to your Google Drive. Let me know what's what." And I was like, "Oh, all right." So I'm doing a little 3-pack. The 3-pack are essentially my weird type of love letters to somebody. The actual 3-pack is actually dedicated to somebody. And it's just something I have to get out there. It's something I've been just kind of holding on to. So I just figured I'm gonna write some music about it, and whatever comes of it, comes of it. They're not so much like your average like love letters. They're more like apology letters and kind of like coming to terms with where I guess everything is now in life. But it also does kind of, depending on how I release these two, because whichever one kind of gets finished first will be coming out first, essentially. But the Skin Deep project and the Love Letters project both kind of coincide together. It's just the Skin Deep project is more of a bigger project. There's like 11 tracks on that one, 13 if you include the skits. But yeah, that's really kind of the new projects and the new music that's coming. I mean, I just dropped a song, or a song just came out with my feature with Instincts, so that's a whole other song you can get there. It's called Don't Give a Fuck. Ooh. See, that's a very tricky question that I don't know how to answer. Because the 2 people I really, really, really want to work with on some like real creative shit, they don't do this. Like, my best friend in the whole world doesn't, like, he raps and he's creative as fuck, but he just doesn't, like, this ain't his vibe. Like, he's not the rapper dude. He doesn't like want this life. So it's kind of hard. And same with my other homie too, who's like super creative and really like on my ass about my music and shit like that. And you know, they got, you know, other things they got to take care of, other life responsibilities and stuff. Who would I want to work with? Hoshea the Great. That I have to make a few tracks with Hoshea the Great. That is definitely somebody I want to work with. It's weird because I'm like also an editor, so like I kind of work with a lot of the local artists too on some like, we can edit your shit, we can discuss, we're friends of friends, so it's like I kind of work with everybody I want to work with. I want to work with one of my UK rappers that I like just any of the famous UK rappers out there right now, like Stormzy, Dave, and all these like types of people, like Abracadabra and like Dig That and like AJ Tracy. Like these are guys that I really want to work with just because like I'm really into the UK sound right now. I don't have a favorite artist. I literally said this morning or yesterday morning, but anyway, I literally said it. I don't have a favorite artist because I can't. Okay, for you to be my favorite artist, I literally have to listen to your full album repeatedly. Like, I think that that's a good standard for me to put you as my favorite artist. even if you calculate the amount of like okay, check it, right? So my last year's Spotify wrap up, according to Spotify, my top 3 songs, or even my top 4 songs on the list of like the most songs I listened to that year were from King ISO, his project World War Me. Now, statistically, I guess from Spotify, that is a legitimate, valid point. He would be my favorite artist. But like, or at least my favorite artist of 2020, 2021, whatever the wrap up they were telling me, I can't remember now. But I don't even listen to that whole album. I listen to probably half that album. If we're talking like as my favorite artist, I only listened to half that album. I like the whole project. I did a review on the project. It's out on the Behind That Suit channel. But like, I don't know. Like I don't know how to calculate, because like, as much as I love King ISO, and I think that King ISO is actually probably a better rapper than Tech Nine in my opinion. Which I love Tech Nine for what he does and everything, but I just think King ISO is better. For me to get to a King ISO song in the morning, I have to go through like at least 15 songs, because there's 15 songs right now that I'm listening to on repeat that are my favorite, that are like my favorite songs. And it's crazy because it's like, the first track is like from a UK artist named Eyes. Then the second track is like a fucking techno song. And then the next from like a techno song from Rocket League, the game Rocket League, and then the next track is another techno track from Rocket League, and then and then I have like 3 UK artists back to back, but they're like full groups. So it's like I have a song from a UK artist. They're called A92. They're called A92, but they're like a group of 5 dudes, if I'm not mistaken, 5 or 6 dudes. And they all rap on one track. So it's like, I like all of them too. You know what I mean? So I don't really do that whole like, who's your favorite rapper question. I just really enjoy music, and it could be possible. Because here's the other thing too. You know the song All Around the World from ATC, back when we were kids? All around the world, la 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 la, or whatever, shit like that. Bro, that's like literally track number 3 in my goddamn Spotify right now. Literally, I listen to that song in the morning. So it's like, I don't know. I just love music. That's just the Chris Chrome way. Oh, no. No, you didn't. Oh, no. Oh, Shvellington. No. No, Shvellington. Oh, okay. I don't even, it's not, okay, this is not even the bar that I probably like the most, but it's the only one that I can think of right now. But it was in one of my songs, I think it's in 11:25 p.m. off of the Bat Crew mixtape, or it's, I know I Broke the Carousel from the Bat Crew mixtape, or it's on the Meticulous.ca mixtape. I don't know which one, because I did them really like one after another really quickly. But the bar basically is, I was weeping in the Garden of Eden, and that's all I can remember. I was weeping in the Garden of Eden. You were breathing treason with heathens. Something. I can't even think about it, dude. Like I don't. Okay, here's the thing. I don't actually make like proper setup punchline bars. I just make really cool lines. So like I do all the tricky stuff, and it just sounds really cool, but I don't feel like I make any memorable bars, so I can't really remember it. Yeah, I don't know, man. I have like another one where it's like, imagine the canvas just asked me if I was okay, I was stumped with only this stuff to say. Well, clearly not. I'm voicing my thoughts through tangled knots. That's a verse that's coming off of my 3-pack project coming off soon. For our love letters. It's dope. Okay, I don't know what a bar is. Like, I'm just gonna state that on wax. I don't know, like, how to formulate a bar. And everyone's like, no, this is how you do it. And I'm like, nah, you don't get it. It's like, everybody's like, something, and then intricate metaphor that means something else, but it's also a double entendre for what I really mean, and then this and that. And I'm just there like, that is super cool, and I like that, but like, I don't do that. I'm just gonna tell you straight up what it is. I'm gonna like detail the fact that like your dress has polka dots on it and that they're pink and they're really cute, and that I want your dress to like fly up from like the steam chutes and shit when you're walking through New York. You know what I mean? Like, I don't actually know. I think the music scene is doing well for the people that I know. I see a lot of thriving artists. I see a lot of energies and just people, creative energies, and people are just doing a bunch of shit. So I think that we have an actual thing bubbling as a music scene. I also want to specify that I'm speaking only for the English scene. The French scene I'm not a part of, I cannot speak on. They seem to be doing really well and crushing shit. But for the English scene, you know, my whole thing is I think we need to start really pushing each other and really promoting each other and working together to collectively build this scene so that it is actually appealing to other people who want to see it and who want to see people get involved. I think everybody right now is just out for their own, which duly so. I mean, look at the fucking world we live in. It's not like, you know, things are kind of safe right now. But I do think that the Montreal Anglo music scene is in a very good place to flourish. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. I think it's a very good place right now to flourish. I think people are, you know, I think after the pandemic, people started kind of, I guess, changing the way we started talking with one another. We started becoming a little bit more open to wanting to work with each other and really try to figure stuff out. But a lot of these attitudes need to change, in my opinion. I myself have probably some attitude adjustments I might need to change. I want to take accountability and responsibility for that. But I think the attitude in this game needs to change. I think we need to start looking at the bigger picture than just solely about ourselves. That's something that as an editor who literally has watched all of these videos and watched y'all come onto the platform and, you know, express yourselves, which everyone is amazing. I think that we need to start reaching out to one another, giving credibility where credibility should be given, giving props to where props should be given. Pay your respects, pay your dues, all that, and just how can we all kind of work together to make something that, you know, Montreal is proud of. And other places out there in the world want to start handing us money because we've got something stable here. That's kind of how I think so. Don't give up. Keep doing everything you do out of love for what you do. Do it for your passion for it. You know, so many people go into this game doing it for money. And I don't really, and you know, I'm not the right person to say or to express that, like, if you do it for money, you're not going to make it, because clearly that's not true. There is people who have clearly made it with the intention of just making money. think that if you're a new artist in the game, you know what? Fuck all that. I'm just gonna basically I'm gonna tell you what I did. Believe in yourself and just keep going at your own pace. Keep grinding every day. Just put in whatever hours you can to whatever passionate thing it is. You know, find all the get all the information you can and just keep going. Cause I ain't doing this for money, dude. I'm doing this for myself. This is the only way that I can feel alive and feel like I'm expressing myself properly is through music. And that's why I do it. And I think that you should, as an artist, be doing that as well. I think your music will be more genuine. I think your emotion behind your music will be more genuine. I think that, you know, what you're going to bring to the table is more genuine and more authentic when you really just do it for the love of wanting to do it. So something I've learned is don't think too much for when like you're writing and you're going at it. And I say this kind of like with like conditions, right? Okay, so I take forever to write music. Like I take forever because I want to make sure it's like super intricate, all the syllables are there, everything's nice and everything's all good, which is amazing music, don't get me wrong. It makes amazing music for whether it's me making it, Schwellington, or anybody else in the world. Schwelly, I should use his real name. I shouldn't like mess up this brand here. But like, and for anybody else who ever makes music, always the hard-hitting, like super well written music is always great. But what I did also learn is that when you free flow the writing and you just kind of like you put on a beat and you just you just start writing to whatever you hear the beat sounds and the different tempos and the different type of just the timings and the different sounds and the snare and the drum and the synth and the this and the that, and you're all over the place. Again, remember, I also have ADHD, so I'm like taking a lot of these sounds all at once, and it's also like kind of doing stuff in my head, right? When you start free flowing, I feel like the writing is just way better overall. I've written some really good music in like some pressure scenarios, like, yo, we've got 10 minutes to write your track, like to write your verse and then spit your verse, do it now. And it's like go, the adrenaline and everything. You're just like, yo, fucking 5 minutes, verse is out. And am I always satisfied with like the verse I make? Probably not. I'm gonna admit it, probably not. But, and this is where I get contradictive to my own self, but it's like, is it a bad verse though? Like, is it a bad verse? No, the flow is on point. The way that I flipped my voice in one thing was on point. The way I did this and that, and the way that I connected this and that was on point. So it's like sometimes you just gotta stop thinking and just do what you feel is right. Like, yes, you could kind of make music in a mathematical equation and find the 4x4 timing, find the 8x8 timing and do all that, but anybody can do that. If you're able to feel the music, like I was saying earlier, there's a lot of like spoken poetry, spoken word in my raps. Like, it's not anybody who's able to just go from literally a like technical aspect of rapping, like hitting all the different beat patterns and stuff, and then instantly within a switch of a tone, let all that go and go into this like smooth, poetic type of spoken word poetry. But it all fits into one, and it's like you can only really do that when you're really putting feeling into it and feeling the music and really kind of engulfing yourself in all of that. So, yeah. I will refrain from any dark humor joke. Whoo! I I don't actually know, dude. Like, there isn't a world that I'm not making music. You know what? I mean, probably editing like I do now. I'd probably be in video. I'd probably be in definitely some editing world, some drawing world. I don't know. I don't actually know. There isn't really... Everything I do in my life feels like it's one step closer to being able to just make music for the rest of my life. Like, no matter what I do, no matter what job I apply for, no matter what company I work for, no matter what artist I'm working with, no matter what video I'm creating, no matter this, that, the next thing, however, it's like, there is going to be a day. In my brain, there is no question. There is going to be a day that for just the rest of my life, all I have to do is just make music. All my bills are paid. My family is good. If and when I have a girlfriend, wife, kids, this, that, the next thing, that's all good. I got, hopefully I got the passive income on the side. Like, again, at the time of this interview, I'm only 27, right? So, and I'll be turning 28 at the end of the month because my birthday is November 29th, 1993. I'm a Sagittarius. So, with that being said, it's like, I'm still young. I still have a lot of my life to go through. This was destined for me. Like, there's no other... Like, I don't like cars enough to be a mechanic. Do I want to have my own Chris Chrome clothing store? Yeah, but I ain't gonna manage that building. I'm gonna hire somebody to manage it. Like, that's the goal, right? So I don't know, like, I've always felt super connected to art. I've always just felt really, really connected to art. Music, because I was able to express and speak and I've never been able to express my feelings and express my emotions and express the way that I was thinking in my brain. But when it comes to music, nobody can tell me I'm wrong when I make a song. Like, you can tell me you don't like it. You can tell me this, that, but you can't tell me I'm wrong. It's like, yo, I created this. You didn't. Like, I know what I created. It may not be the perfect thing. It may not be, sonically may not be something you want to listen to, but you can't tell me that this creative piece of art is wrong. You can have an opinion on the verses, you can have an opinion on whatever I think or whatnot. You can't tell me the song itself or the creative art piece is wrong. I don't see myself doing anything else but making music, but making videos, but being creative. Nonetheless, like, just being creative, creating to this world and giving back in some sort of artistic way. Like, I don't see anything else. Honestly, I'd want to relive the first time I wrote a serious track. I would want to relive that. Like, I know it sounds weird because if you watch the very first Chris Chrome interview, my first track I ever wrote was in, like, sitting in the middle of detention in high school. But, like, there's just something about the first actual song you write, the way that, like, you feel, the emotions you put in, the fact that, like, you're really trying to say something for the very first time. I'm not, like, obviously I've been knowing how to speak and all this other shit too, but it's like the idea of really wording it together for that one message you're trying to get out in a song form. I don't want to relive that again. Oh, that's not fair. If I could put a feature together, I would want King ISO from Strange Music or whatever to make a track with Dig That from the UK. Like, that I think would be so wild because, like, King ISO is, like, I really like the fact how he uses this fast rap and the triplet flow and this stuff, but he's so, like he can get so emotional but also super hard at the same time, and it's really dope. But then, like, Dig That just, like, has that flair, and I feel like ISO could probably also match up to the UK drill type vibe, But I also think that Dig That could also match up to like the double timing in the UK style, like with all their stuff. That would be a feature. But of course, everybody featuring Chris Chrome. That would be like the ultimate thing. Every local artist, every rapper featuring me. That's something that I want to make happen. No. No, I don't have anything new coming. I don't have anything like upcoming, whatever. If there is gonna be something, which I'm gonna try to hold myself to, is I wanna like find a way to like do knockoff like cartoon videos or like pixelated videos, but like really bootleg knockoff to like give it that grungy look. But yeah, nothing right now. Try to find something that's like really like a gimmick for your track, your album, your project. You know, like people would attach merchandise to their projects and stuff like that. Put it on like QR codes or whatever. Like, try to find something that definitely would be different than or unique to you yourself. Like I know somebody. Don't quote me on this at all, but I heard somebody like put their album on like a QR code or some shit. Like that's why I said it. I may be completely wrong, but like imagine that. Imagine like just giving them some sort of product with a QR code to your album, and that's like unique to you. Like I don't know, you like selling fucking socks. Give everybody a pair of socks, and on the sock itself there's a QR code like design on it, and they can like scan their sock, and there is your album. Or make it a hat. Like remember back when we used to wear the stickers on the hat because we all thought it was super cool to have the sticker on the lid. It was like 5950. Yeah, it was 5950 stickers on the hats, and it was like the New York stuff and whatever. But imagine like we all walked around with QR codes on our hats, or like on the end of the lid. We were just like click, click, whatever. Like some creative thing like that. But truly, just put your music out there. My belief. My core belief is put your music out there, believe in yourself, and just promote everywhere you think you can, and promote when you think the time is right. I did something really recently. I'm part of a Facebook group that I'm really good in. They love me, I love them. We all kind of, there's like the core main people that usually are on every post that I now know who they are. But then there's like everybody else, right? But the point is, I asked in this group, because I actually talked to the group owner directly, like me and him are buddies. So like, I asked the group, I was like, hey, what if I told y'all I made music? Like I just asked that. These are like, I consider these people to be, you know, I would say friends, because we all communicate in the comments and the memes and stuff. So, you know, somebody came back and was like, oh, I would respond with, is it good? And I was just like, well, you got to be the judge of that. You got to let me know. And then I plugged my link. And then that was it. I got some 2 other people who made a comment. Somebody told me to send the link. I think that's why I posted it. So maybe I kind of failed on that. That's my fault. Always be prepared. That is like number one thing. I'm still trying to make sure I get on that. But always be prepared, everybody. But like, did that generate streams? Probably. Did that give me, you know, a new reach? Most probably. But like, I just felt it was the right time. Nobody was really posting anything in the chat, or nobody was posting anything in the group. Kind of seemed dead for a couple hours. Maybe nobody was awake, so I just hit them, try to start off the morning with something, and, you know, try to make myself feel good about what I do. So self-promotion is something I would always say you got to do all the time, no matter what. Really sell yourself and just promote yourself everywhere. Every time you get a second, just try to tell people how creative you are, and eventually it's gonna click. But when I get more official promoting tips, I'll let y'all know. Chris Chrome At Chris Chrome 93 on everything. On everything. Twitter, Spotify. No, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook is Chris Chrome 93. TikTok would be Chris Chrome 93, although I don't do the tick of talks, however. On Spotify, you can find me as Chris Chrome, verified artist. I just want to tangent and kind of boast myself a little minute. Having that blue little check mark next to your name on Spotify feels great. Like, feels great. So, you can check me at Spotify, Chris Chrome. You can check me on Bandcamp, as Chris Chrome. You can check me at SoundCloud, again, Chris Chrome. Like the general idea, you want to put your music everywhere you can so that every and anybody can access it and have accessibility to it. There is a part of me that also feels like not everybody is comfortable using all the platforms or all the apps or all the things. Like, I know people who prefer Instagram overall over Facebook, or people would prefer using, let's say, something like a Snapchat over something like an Instagram or a Facebook. I myself, I'm still on Tumblr. I love the whole Tumblr vibe, and that's what I use sometimes. I'll put my music out there and like throw my interviews out there and stuff like that. It depends on the person. It depends on what you want to do. It depends on what you're trying to reach. I mean, putting music on TikTok is cool, but it may not get you the same reach as maybe putting clips of your music video on Instagram or vice versa. You know what I mean? So it's really based on like what you want to do with the platform, because of course all the platforms are different, right? Now, I understand DSPs, direct streaming platforms. I understand that, like, I Spotify, iTunes, SoundClouds, all these things, they're just music, so it's mostly just audio. So like, you would just upload the song and listen to the full song, sure, but like anything that is probably just audio, you'd want to put it everywhere. That would just be a key thing. But like, for platforms like the apps and the socials that allow you to have like the video promotions and all these other stuff, I would say if you can get it everywhere, that's dope. If you have access to a team who knows how to run these platforms properly, on how to do the edits and stuff, then yes, have your music everywhere. If you're a solo artist or an upcoming artist who's trying to figure out what to do or what not, start with the platform that really just makes you feel more comfortable, something that you are okay with using, you feel like you've got a nice reach on, and build your content off of that, and you'll slowly learn how to navigate the other ones too. I went with DistroKid only because I work with Holden, HSR514, Holden Stephan Roy. I'm part of Behind That Suit. I'm the editor of Behind That Suit. So because my music, like a lot of my music gets pushed through Behind That Suit, and I feature on a lot of Holden's projects, we ended up doing like a team thing with DistroKid, because DistroKid allows you to make teams. So we went with like a team thing, based on however we make the music. If we do, features, it gets 50-50 split based on artist or however it goes. DistroKid handles all that. And if I put out a whole project myself, I get 100% of the proceeds or the revenue, the profit back from the streams and stuff. And then whatever arrangements or agreements I have on the side, or I guess like between my production and my team and my people, they all get whatever cut we've agreed to and stuff like that. But I to be honest, I never really looked into it. I didn't really know I had to like get a distribution company like that. Like I didn't really know that until like very recently, because I myself am still a growing artist and still learning the tricks of the trade and all this stuff. But so far, like I've been pretty impressed with DistroKid. That's something that I personally recommend with everybody. For a long time, before I actually knew any real Montreal producers, you know, the Meticulouses, the Skin Deeps, the Blasters, the this, the that, the Technicians, the Vincent Prices, the Bat Crews, and on all the others, I could name all the other ones. And I felt like this sound has always been everywhere. Once I started, that was like in the younger years, right? Like that was like on like when I was like heavy onto SoundCloud, and I mean I'm still finding beats on SoundCloud, but like heavy onto SoundCloud, freestyling beats and stuff like that, heavy into the YouTube finding beats and stuff like that. When it came to literally when I started meeting actual Montreal producers and getting to talk to them and to know them, and especially with the interview runs with Behind That Suit, it's like, you know, I got to really understand some of these producers. And today, I think that I gotta be careful how I say this. I think that the way that music is going and the sound of music is forcing a lot of people to kind of make the same sound, the same type of trendy vibe, the same type of auto-tuney, synthy, trap, 808, you know, melodic trap, the stuff we've just been getting for the last like 3, 4, or 5 years, right? I think everybody's kind of like just on that wave right now. I'm currently working on a project from Skin Deep. None of these beats sound anything like today's music. None of these beats sound anything like your melodic trap or whatnot. These beats, according to Skin Deep, they're out on Bandcamp. You can buy them for $10 USD. They're called Throwaway Gems. Shout out local Montreal producers and artists. His pack Throwaway Gems, I think that was like out, what, 2008, 2015, 2011. Don't, like, sorry Skin Deep if you watch this, you know, my bad, I don't remember the date. But like, that came out years ago, prior to what the sound is now, and these beats are, in my opinion, more fire than the beats we have now. So to really answer the sound of Montreal, it's like, me personally, I don't think Montreal has its own sound. I think we're following trends. Maybe I'm out of the loop, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like we're trying to sound like everyone, or at least the next cool thing, or the coolest thing. I've yet to really see people try to push out of the trap era, or the melodic trap era. Yo, I'm totally okay with being in the emotional rap scene. I'm totally cool with that, and everybody may look at me and be like, yo, you've been doing this for a while. It's like, yeah, emotions don't get old. To be clear with you, like feeling sad, feeling in love, feeling heartbroken, feeling depressed, feeling this, like these don't get old. This is life. But like, I think Montreal needs to blend its jazz. First off, we have Jazz Fest, right? Why isn't nobody making jazzy beats? Like literally, we host the fucking Jazz Fest in Montreal. Why are we not, as the community, as the culture of Montreal, or the music hip-hop scene of Montreal, infusing with a lot of more jazz? I guarantee you, if we started doing that, we could probably get some local artists to be on the jazz stage. Maybe. we have a lot of, I like to think, a lot of like rock in our city, and I don't really know a lot of this because I was always into hip hop, but I feel like we do have a lot of like rock and roll in our city. We have a lot of like pop. Like we have a lot more of other genres than we actually do have hip hop. And now, if you're in the hip hop scene in Montreal, then yes, you're fully aware of like the sound and the music and like how we also kind of mimic New York in a sense. Like, just again with the interview runs, we have a show behind that suit that's called Perspectives. That's all the New York guys. That's all people from the Bronx, people from the United States, people from, you know, all over New York and shit. We interviewed somebody from, I think, Seattle too, and they were all telling us like how it kind of works down there, and literally it's like Montreal and New York kind of parallel each other very, very similarly, like a lot. So yeah, like I think that I don't know how to answer that question in terms of where the sound is, because I don't think we have yet to unlock the sound of Montreal. I think we're still trying to figure it out what we all kind of agree with. Unnecessary bullshit drama over absolute nothings, and that goes for myself dealing with any business. If I feel like I'm about to encounter some overly dramatic thing when we're supposed to just be having fun and creating art like artists and creatives do, I don't want to be a part of that. I'm definitely not part of like any set or any gang or anything like that. So that's something I'm definitely staying away from. The I guess the business aspect of like labels and stuff, that's something I want to be a part of. That's the industry, that's the music, that's the money, that's the life essentially. So I would want to be a part of that, but the biggest thing in music is like, at least for what I'm starting to see in my city and kind of just how people move and shit, I just, we're all adults now at this point, and I've been feeling this type of way for a while. It's like, let's just get the fuck over our egos and make some really great music and do it for the city. Do it for the place that's given us home for so fucking long and we now can appreciate it. Like, how many of us grew up in this city, grew up in this place, feeling like we don't belong here, we're not part of Montreal, to only then grow up and realize we've always been a Montrealer, we just didn't understand it yet. It's like, bro, that's where we're at now. It's like, and I'm talking to the people who need to hear this. It's like, we're at that point where we're next up, dude. We are the next up. And I'm not talking about being super famous or being fucking stacks or getting balling out fucking diamonds and shit. I'm literally just talking like, bro, like I said, I myself, I'm 27. I'm pushing 30 in like 2-3 years. I'm sooner or later I'm gonna be 40 in like fucking 12-13 years. It's like, bro, we're the next up. We are the next ones to be taking our parents' places, to be taking the older people's places. Like, we gotta do some shit. We gotta make sure we fucking pave a proper way, better than what we've been fucking doing for the younger generations and just for everyone else around. So it's like, yo, cut the crap, cut the bullshit. Let's all just make really good music. Let's just make really, really good music. If you feel like, you know what, somebody's better than the other, then have a fucking conversation and teach each other how to do your shit. Share your skills. Like, that's all. It's the only way we're all gonna get better and build an actual scene. That's how everyone else fucking does it, is they put on for each other. That's that's just what it is. It is what it is. I don't want to deal with no, like, and I just, as before I cross over that cut line, look, at the end of the day, shit's gonna happen. There's gonna be politics, there's gonna be drama, there's gonna be this, but like, I think that if everybody can just take a step back and walk into every situation starting at zero with a cool head, we can kind of, you know, mitigate a lot of this stuff and try to, you know, moderate it and make sure we have some good times. Because there's some really crazy talent in this city. There's some really, really crazy talent in this city, and a lot of us have just huge fucking ego problems. Oh, I'm on both sides with that. That's really difficult. The older you get, the more bars you want. The younger you are, the more melodic trap you want. Anywhere between like elementary school, secondary 1, 2, and like 3, and probably halfway through 4. And for my American friends and people who are not from Quebec, that's grade 7, 8, 9, and like halfway through 10. That's probably like your for my American friends, your middle school till you're like beginning to like your middle school age. All of that is like a really kind of weird gray zone because you're going through the different phases. You've got the days where you're feeling super on your game and you want to learn and you want wisdom and you want knowledge and you want this, so you're listening to some of the really the bars and the Nas's and the Jay-Z's and the J. Cole's and the Kendricks and the fucking, you know, like the what is it, the new rapper Baby Keem that's like working with Kendrick. I don't want to butcher anybody's name, but like all of these people. But then then the very next day, you know, girlfriend broke up with you, so now you want that sad melodic trap. You don't want to be barred to death. So I feel like I don't think there's like this big comeback of like we're gonna turn hip hop back into bars. I think that people who spit bars and who lay out their verses and have the intricate messages and are really, really, really going in to like tell you something, I think that's aiming for an older demographic. I think they're aiming for people who are gonna understand the bars and understand this. Because I'm sorry, but you can like bar me to death. If I'm 12, I don't understand what you're saying if I don't know any of the terminologies. So if I'm 12 and I want to listen to music, there's probably gonna be some melodic trap shit that I could be like, ooh, hey, and whatever the hell else you want me to do to just feel a vibe, because that's what I'm trying to do, is just catch a vibe. So I don't know. I think it's going to be more controlled. I think it's going to get to a point where we're going to have, just in my brain, it's like we're going to have, so if you're the age of like 18, and this is only for Quebec, of course, but like 18 to like 21 to like 22, 23 maybe? No. If you're like 18 to 25, you have your own club with all your melodic trap music and all your this and all your emotional whatever you want, and then anything above the age of 25 and up, it's all like, all right, you're trying to find yourself, you're trying to really go, like you're trying to listen to some real hip hop, some R&B, some jazz, some this. I think we're gonna find a way to really have both of the scenes together. We just haven't figured it out yet. And you wanna know why? It's because everybody just keeps fucking hating on it, bro. Like, if you really sit down and listen to the melodic trap music and you really listen to what these kids are saying or what some of these people are saying, it's like, bro, a lot of this shit's relatable. It's just not broken down with 7 fucking metaphors. That's all it is. I just want people to know that I'm a good person. I make mistakes and I try to be better all the time. That's really just it. You know, we all go through our ups and downs and we all go through our problems. But like the one thing that I would want people to remember me for is just, I'm there. I'm there as much as I can be. I'm just a genuine friend, just ready to do what, with, and anything. Just enjoy having a good time and just trying to live the best life that I can with what I have right now, and hopefully what I can achieve in the future. That's what I want for Chris Johnson, if we're gonna be serious here. As myself, I just for Christopher Johnson, I just want to be happy. I want to be able to experience the world and just have people know these stories and be able to experience the world through my eyes, and sometimes, and come on vacation with me and just remember me for the crazy Chris adventures that I can provide to this world in positive ways. Yeah, it's a little bumpy. Go take you some up and downs, but at the end of the day, it always feels like just a great time. With that being said, what do I want people to remember me as? Chris Chrome the artist? Bro, the same fucking thing, to tell you the truth. I mean, anybody who's everybody who's anybody who listens to my music, or who listens to anything I've said in at least the last like 2-3 years, the shit I say as Chris Chrome is so fucking real to Christopher Johnson that I can't argue Chris Chrome. So the same life I want for Chris Johnson is the same life I want for Chris Chrome as an artist. It's one and the same. I just want to have a good time. Just want to be at peace. I just want to, give back to the people who've given to me. I want to put people on. I want to show people some opportunities. I want to do good things. And maybe next time when there's a part 2 of this, I'll be able to tell you what those good things are. But that's what I want the world to remember me as. I want to be able to. I don't even want like people talk about like power or money and all this. Like, I want to be able to know that I can walk into a room that I'm not supposed to be in because these people make way more money than me. But the reason I'm there is because Chris Chrome or Chris Johnson has to be there. I've put in the work.